Hello, my name is Michael. I am from Netherlands. When I was 16, I liked a girl at school and I loved her so much. Her name was Sarah. She was a very beautiful and attractive girl. All the boys at school wanted to be with her. I was playing football at that time, but I wasn't famous yet. And no one took me serious. Back then, I had a competitor at school. His name was Chris. He was very handsome and all the girls loved him. Chris was always around Sarah and it made me jealous. But they seemed to be just ordinary friends and they didn't have a romantic relationship. But I was always jealous that Sarah was intimate with Chris. And I was nervous, but I couldn't do anything about it. I told myself that Sarah is way out of my league and she would probably never be friends with someone like me. One day, when the class was over and I was leaving, Sarah and I had an accident and my books fell on the ground. Sarah and I both laughed when this happened, and she helped me to get my books. After collecting the books, I introduced myself to her. Hello, I'm Michael. She also greeted me and said, Hello, I'm Sarah, nice to meet you. And that was the start of our friendship and finally our relationship. After that, we used to go home together every day after school, and we talked a lot on the way. I always wanted the school to be finished soon so we can go home together. Everything was very good during that 1 year, and we were very good together. I also continued to play football during this year, and this damaged my lessons, and I was expelled from school after a while. I was very upset when I got expelled from school, and on the other hand, I didn't know if I would really become a football player one day or not. My family was in a normal financial situation at that time. And I always wanted to be both rich and famous, and I hope that football helps me achieve this goal. Meanwhile, when I was expelled from school, I could no longer be with Sarah after school, and she went home alone. After that, Sarah's morals had changed a bit, and she was arguing with me about everything. I expected Sarah to support my dream of becoming a football player at that time, but she didn't. She didn't take my goal serious at all and kept saying, Go and find a job. Until one day, when I went to school to surprise Sarah, I saw that Sarah came out with Chris, but this time they were holding each other's hands. I angrily stepped forward and told Chris, Let go of my girlfriend's hand, bitch! Chris laughed insidiously and said, Your girlfriend? Who said that? Sarah is my girlfriend. Sarah had a sad look at me and said, I didn't want you to understand like this. I wanted to finish everything with you, but I couldn't do that face to face. I don't like you anymore. I love Chris. I left her with sadness and tears, but I kept thinking about Chris's evil laughs and Sarah's cheatings. Let's skip forward. A few months passed, and one day I decided to end my grief and told myself I have to become famous one day to take a revenge on Sarah and Chris. I started training again and I went to a few clubs to take a football test. Until one day, when I was testing, one of the famous agents of a prominent German team who had a training camp in our country saw my style of play and liked it very much. He came to me and said, You're wonderful. I didn't know who that person was at that time. He said, Who is your agent? And I replied with surprise, Agent? I don't have any agents. He laughed and handed over his card and said, Come to our team's training tomorrow. After seeing his card, I was very surprised. I couldn't believe that I was going to the training of one of the best teams in Europe. I went to a test for an ordinary team, but now I'm going to the training of a very popular and famous team. I couldn't sleep that night out of happiness. The next day, I went to a training. I couldn't believe that I was seeing all those famous players and I was going to be their teammate. They all treated me kindly and I was supposed to go with them to Germany. My success process started from there, and after a few months, I became a star. Almost all Europe knew me. I had about 5 million followers on my Instagram. One day, while I was reading my private messages, I saw that Sarah had sent me a message. I couldn't believe that I saw Sarah's name. She wrote to me, Hello Michael, I'm so glad that you're successful. I always believed in you. Forgive me for leaving you. Let's be together again. I wrote to her, Did you believe in me? Meanwhile, you didn't leave me. You cheated on me with Chris. She said to me, Give me your number. Let me talk to you and explain. I gave my number to her to see what she wants to say. She called and started apologizing and saying that Chris was a jerk who left her. After that, I told her everything is over and I have nothing to do with the girl who left me once. I hung up the phone. After that, she kept calling me. but I didn't answer. Very soon, I decided to do an interesting move to complete my revenge. From that moment, whenever I scored a goal in a game, I put my hand on my ear for celebration after the goal, as if someone was talking to me on the phone. This celebration became very famous, and people imitated it everywhere. I was very happy that I finally got my revenge on Sarah. Sarah didn't deserve my love, and she still has no right to have me. This was my story. What do you think? Was it a good revenge?